What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from ActionMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're going to talk about The Serpent Skin, which is seemingly dropping at the right time. It opens up in March 27th, and it's directed by Alice Mail McKay, or Mackay. I don't know. You know what doesn't come along with our press kits? Pronunciations. So, um, the reason why I think that this is like the right time for this is because just like a week ago, or depending on when I put this out, 2 weeks ago, um, the, we lost the Buffy reboot. Rest in peace. And Sarah Michelle Gellar broke the news, and then, of course, has since commented on it pretty slammingly, too. Gotta give her props. Calling out that there was always one executive that was attached to the project that reminded them how he didn't get the project. He never watched the original series, and, didn't get it. And it's really, she said it was really deflating to constantly work with somebody who was reminding you that the work that you did didn't matter, and he doesn't even bother to get himself up to date on the project that he's working on. So, and she's also right, like pulling the plug on the project right before Chloe Zhao's Hamnet is up for Oscars is just kind of like a weird, uh, I don't know, clash of highs and lows. So here comes a movie, and I was thinking at the same time, I was like, Chloe Zhao is not the first person I would have gone to, because I'm sorry, Chloe, but I saw Eternal, so not my first pick for the Buffy pilot. I was drawn to Jane Schoenberg, thinking about I saw the TV Glow, and now I'm like Alice Mayo Mackay. They should direct this because she's amazing. Clearly, like she gets this vibe. The whole thing is pulling from shows like Buffy and Charmed. Um, but also it gave me a vibe. I don't know why, but I had sort of like a Repo Man vibe from the 80s. It had a little bit of it was kind of a throwbackish thing. It's got a little bit of Scanners kind of thrown in there. It's heavy in queer representation, trans representation, about found community, found families, and finding your true self and being able to explore a relationship and all that kind of stuff. It's uh it's got so much going on for it, but it does blend really well these genres together, and it does blend horror with uh queer romance, and with subtle hints at community and subject matter and stuff in a way that is smart and interesting, and it's well directed. The cast full of people I don't know who they are. Not a single one of them did I thought give a bad performance. I don't know your names. There's only just so much I can memorize before doing a video that I don't edit because I don't know how. Uh, it's just so much I can do, and I'm blind, so I can't just look down on a sheet of paper. So but yeah, the whole cast is tremendous. So it's about this girl Anna who moves to live with her sister, and she ends up hooking up with this other girl, Jen, and they start this, like, love affair. But it turns out they're both witches. They both have powers, and and Jen is a little bit more experienced with hers and seems to know that she's had hers for a longer period of time, and Anna is just now starting to get into it. But Anna's powers seem to be greater. There's a scene in here, not to like spoil, I'm not gonna spoil the whole movie, but there was a scene where the two of them were sitting there like talking about their powers, and it felt like me. Like whenever I role play, I'm like, I have all the powers, by the way. What can you do? Well, I can do this, 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 and this. And why limit myself? Because Anna starts like explaining her powers and all the different things that she can do. And she even adds one more on there. And Jen's like, "Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, that's crazy. That's..." And then then Anna's finally like, "But I can also." And Jen's like, "Wow, I can't do that. That's amazing. I wish I could do that." And it felt like being a kid again when you're just sitting there with your friends and you're like, "What powers do you have?" "I don't know. I can fly, super speed, super strength. I can teleport." You just start listing off things. Um, so yeah, this movie was effortlessly charming. It's I had no idea. Honestly, I didn't get audio description with it. They adorably tried to get me accessibility, but they did that thing where they don't understand what audio description is. So they're like, "Okay, so we got you a screener. It has closed captioning." I'm like, my God, my God. There's only just so much education that I can put out to the world in one day. It's like literally like the opposite thing. Audio description and closed captioning are like the opposites on the spectrum. Because if I can't see, and that's why I need the audio description, I'm certainly not going to be beneficial to the closed captioning that I can't read. So I did have to kind of make it through this film, but I I said this with a couple films with horror. It's like gore should not be the make it or break it factor for me. Um, there are certain things that we lean into where we get like, "Oh my God, there's a lot of sex in here." Ugh. I'm never gonna rate a film like Fresh or Rotten because it was really horny. Like, and I loved it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, "Oh my God, oh, this film needed a lot of sex and it had it. Oh, thank you. I'm a creep." Thank you for this level of sex, this lesbian love that's all over this movie. um, and gore is another thing where it's like, I would have liked the movie, but just didn't have enough guts. Story was great, acting was great, direction was fantastic, but it just I needed more exploding heads. I needed people. I'm not that kind of critic either. So when I get into these things, sometimes without audio description, I look at the core story, I look at the characters, I look at the actors, and that's kind of what I go off of. It's kind of a small movie. I didn't actually think it would have audio description. I wish it would. I wish it would consider it just because I think it's a cool enough movie that it should kind of reach for the stars, but and try to make itself widely accessible. But would I be surprised? I mean, we had two Best Picture nominees last year that didn't have audio description, so we're fighting an uphill battle on a constant basis. So the best thing I can do is come here and talk about it and try to shame somebody and, "Please, sir, can I have some more?" Um, I like the serpent skin. I did. I thought it was really interesting. It's really intriguing. It's got a killer soundtrack to it. That's one thing that I haven't seen the critics mention yet, from the few critics that exist that are on this film, um, that have been allowed to. I'm not allowed to post my review until the week of release. These other critics, they're fancy and they get to do it way in advance because their opinion matters more than mine. So I have to adhere to embargoes. Yes. Um, I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing if this makes the Galiga Awards, though, in terms of like finding its place among our Dorian Awards next year. It's a little early in the year, which the only thing that makes me worried is that it's because it's coming from a smaller distributor. Sometimes I find that our Dorian Awards go to mainstream things that are just kind of like, "Guys, can we watch the smaller movies?" Can we watch the smaller movies? It's a great opportunity to platform some of the smaller queer movies, but we often end up platforming straight movies, mixing them in a little bit more. So who knows if the Serpent Skin will end up getting there or not? I don't know. But yeah, I second all that. Obviously, like, I'm not a lesbian nor am I trans. So there are certain things that it's just not going to. I am part of the queer community, like LGBTQ community, but this is not my specific experience. So for certain people, it's going to work more than on others. When you get into certain aspects of the plot and the characters, it'll speak to you on a different level. Um, but I definitely enjoyed the film. Like, that's not going to change. So I thought it was kind of crazy, and I'm sure there's some gore and stuff in towards the end. It actually was pretty quick. Like, either the film is short or I just did not feel the time at all. But I felt like that movie was like done and over with. Kind of felt like an episode of a TV series you're watching where it's like the baddie of the week and you're just interested. Like, I was watching a TV pilot almost, like an extended TV pilot for the Serpent skin coming soon to a streaming service near me. But yeah, not that it's not complete, but it felt so short. I didn't even clock the runtime. I was just like, what? It's over? Okay. I don't think it's 90 minutes is what I'm saying. Like, I'd be surprised. So, the serpent skin is a revelation in the, I don't know. I'm supposed to say some great pull quote like masterful handiwork at play in the serpent skin, a crowning achievement for queer representation. It's just a great movie. Just watch the damn thing. I'm gonna give the serpent skin. I'm gonna give it a 7.9 out of 10. That's where I'm feeling it. Um, so yeah, I think you should check it out. That's Fresh, by the way. Congratulations on yet another review for Fresh. It's pretty high actually too for a horror movie, but I realized that the horror element wasn't why I was interested in the movie. Like, that's, see, sometimes it's like that is the reason why, and you need that because the whole film like hinges upon and relies and feels like it's leaning on it. This film has it, but that's not really why I like the movie. Like, it has nothing to do with it. This film could be PG-13 gore free. Well, actually couldn't be PG-13 because these two girls are horny as hell. But if it were, it could be. There could be a PG-13 cut of this film that's stylish enough with these characters and is well directed enough that I would still like and didn't have as much sex and gore. That's how strong I think the film is. Anywho, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll see you guys on the other side.